Hello, welcome to the channel. I'm Amanda and today we are here with things I wish I knew when I was younger video, and I recorded this audio a couple of months ago, like back in March, so I thought that I would use it since I don't have a video for today. But I am showing you an illustration of my winter art print for the winter collection in my shop. It's not available yet, but it will be on Saturday the 14th of November if you want to keep your eye out for that. The link to my shop will be in the description below as usual, but it is based on my autumn girl print, so it's just a winter girl this time, and I really enjoyed making it and I really like the way it looks, so I hope you do too. But let's get into the things that I wish I knew when I was younger. The first thing that I have for you that I wish I knew when I was a beginner artist is, that sounds like I Spy or something. I Spy with my little eye, something beginning with, something that I say like at the start of every video. Anyway, the first thing is that even your idols, the artists that you look up to, the artists that inspire you and make you feel good and make you feel like you can do any art in the world, have created bad art. What you see on Instagram and online and elsewhere doesn't usually show how they got there, the hours of work they put in, how much study and how much practice they have done up until that point, how many drafts of that particular painting they did, how many colour compositions, how many compositional layouts they planned, how many thumbnails they did. You don't know. You've just seen the finished product. So don't get discouraged when your first artwork comes out like a piece of trash and you don't want to post it anywhere, because more than likely every single artist has had batches and batches and lots of art that has came out bad. You have to draw rubbish, garbage, until you are blue in the face to get good. I think I heard somewhere or read somewhere that you have to draw 100 bad things before you get good, and even then you're still developing and growing. And I think that's where the 100 heads challenge came into play, was that if you draw something 100 times it will stick to you a lot better, and I think that's a very valid point, and I like to know that. So yeah, somebody said 100 pages of just gestures will be more than likely to excel your artwork compared to 20 pages of gestures. So basically the more you do, the better. The more hours you put into it, the better. So yeah, your artists that you follow will post things that are a little polished and look good, and you might think, wow, they do that effortlessly. But you haven't seen the behind the scenes, unless obviously an artist does share behind the scenes stuff, which is rare, but it does happen. Number 2, don't force yourself to draw something that you don't like or that you're just doing for the sake of doing. I've said this before, but when I was a young artist, when I was a beginner artist, I tended to draw faces, just faces in graphite, and I didn't do anything else, and I really didn't enjoy the process, but I kept doing it anyway because I liked the praise that I got from people when they said that the drawing looked exactly like the person I was trying to draw, and I just liked the result. I liked the way that it looked, but I wasn't enjoying actually drawing the art itself. So draw what you love. A lot of people will say that you need to start adding things to your portfolio, and then they'll give you a sort of example of what should be in your portfolio. But if things that you don't like drawing are in your portfolio, even though they are good, you're not going to enjoy the work that you get given if you're drawing things that you don't love. So if you want to put things in your portfolio, make sure that you put things in it that you love and that you want to be hired for. Don't just draw things for the sake of drawing things because you're good at it. Draw things that you want to be hired for. So if you want to be hired for environmental backgrounds or whatever, then draw environmental backgrounds. If you want to be hired for character design, then draw characters and concepts of characters and turnarounds and things like that. Draw what you love. love what you draw. The next thing is that using references is not cheating. I don't get it. Where are you getting this information from? Who said that references were cheating? I've never heard somebody say references are cheating. Do not use references. References are the devil. They're not. They're fine. You need to use references. Would you be able to describe it if you didn't see it? Would you really be able to tell yourself every single little, or tell somebody else, who, depending on who you're talking to, I don't judge if you're talking to yourself, but anyway, would you be able to describe word for word exactly what this thing looks like that you are trying to draw, exactly what shade, colour, form, shape, exactly the lines that are on this thing? No, you would not. You would not be able to do it. Obviously, if you've drawn something and looked at something, you could probably ingrain it in your memory eventually, especially if you've got a good memory like my brother does. I was blessed with the non-good memory, the bad memory, so thank you, mother dearest and father dearest. I really enjoy the fact that you gave me those genes when I wanted to be an artist and my brother didn't. But anyway, let's move on from that. Where was I going? Oh yeah, references. They're not cheating. If you don't know how to draw something because you don't know how it looks, then look at a picture of it or go outside and find that thing and draw it. References are not cheating. They are good. They are good. There is a thing where references are bad, because if you are using a picture that does not belong to you and you try to sell it, it is copyright. That, I think, may be where people get it all mixed up. But did you know that there is a thing called a phone that can take pictures, or a thing called a camera that can take pictures? If you take a picture, edit it, do whatever you want to it, and draw it, paint it, whatever, then that picture's yours. It's alright. The world isn't copyrighted. You can still use that picture to draw and sell things. Draw and sell your artwork. And then obviously there are resources online that you can find that have royalty-free images that you can use. But another way to use references is that, I'm not sure on the exact legal terms for this, but I'm pretty sure that you can take a few references, like multiple references. For instance, I did a Pinterest designed my character drawing the other day. I didn't film it because I hated it, but, well, I did film it, but I'm not going to post it because it's horrible. But I designed that character from multiple pictures. I had a picture of a pair of shoes, a picture of a different t-shirt from a different pose, different model, different reference. All of the pictures that I had were different references. The top was from a different reference. The pants or trousers were a different reference. The hair was a different reference. I didn't even use a reference for the face. I just made it up. So, you know, I'm pretty sure that's fine. If I wanted to sell that character or whatever, I could. But, yeah, references are not cheating. The next thing that I have is that art teachers are a piece of work, but they're not always right. So, yeah, when I was younger, I obviously went to school, high school, and I had an art class. And I had a teacher in that art class who thought that he knew everything. He was the one that taught me that tracing was the way to learn art and the only way to learn art. He was the one that made me do portraits up until I was ready to take my exam. Well, he didn't make me do portraits. I wanted to do portraits, but he didn't guide me any other way. And then he made me do a landscape for my exam and I failed it. He was the one that just was rubbish. And they're not all like that. All art teachers are not like that. In fact, the next art teacher that I got, because sometimes you get the same art teacher for a couple of years, sometimes you get a different one every year, and sometimes you just get the same one throughout the years. But I was unlucky enough to have my same art teacher for 4 years. And then finally, in my 5th year of high school, I went into a different art class and I had a different art teacher, and he was lovely, he was amazing, he was great. He was teaching me good things on how to do art, but
unfortunately, I left school a couple of months later. I think it was 3 months into the 5th year of high school that I left. So I missed out on great things from him. I'm pretty sure I could have learned a lot from that teacher. He was an awesome artist, and I had even been to his house, which sounds creepy, but his son went to either the same school or like went to the youth group that I was in. I think it was the same school. And he invited me over to play games, to play video games with him and a couple of other friends. And I did, and obviously that meant that I entered the teacher's house, and his house was full of art, just full of art that he had done in the past, and they were in big golden frames. They were awesome. So he was a good art teacher. So I realised that you know, when I was younger, I wish I knew that all teachers weren't out to get you. They weren't all bad. And I wish I knew that I had the option to choose a different teacher, because I didn't know that until I left school. My guidance teacher, they called it, the one that you go to ask for advice, or guidance rather, she told me when I left school that I could have requested a different teacher. What? I didn't know this. I was gutted. But anyway, teachers are not all bad, but some of them are not always right. Like, a lot of individual people have individual opinions and thoughts, and you might not agree with a teacher, and a teacher might not agree with another teacher in the way to teach art, or any subject for that matter, but we're talking about art here. I learned that 1, I could have changed my teacher. 2, my teacher was not a compass, I guess, for all art teachers in the world, and that other teachers were nice and would want to help me get better at art. But also that really the person who knows exactly what they want and how they want to learn art is, and what they want to do with their art, is probably you. Maybe not when you're in school or when you're just learning, but eventually it will be you. You will be able to pick up things that are invaluable that you've learned from teachers, and you can take into your artistic career later on. Don't be upset if you get a crummy teacher, because even though I have a crummy teacher, or had a crummy teacher, I still managed to fall back in love with art again and create what I wanted to create, and learn from myself and others online and other teachers that may have been hanging around. So those are my 19 thoughts, since this is the last one. If you haven't seen any of them, like I said, I'll leave them in the cards so you can watch all the other tips that I've given you as a beginner artist. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have any other ones, like I said, comment in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!